Hello and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I have a collective reading for us today, and I have some different ideas about where it might go, how we might expand it, but we'll have to see as we go, kind of feel it out. I drew two cards, first of all, for context. What I feel these cards are saying is a lot of us are just in resistance to the new. We're just worried about the old being in the new. We're worried about it's almost like it's the old is polluting the new, and we're kind of afraid to walk through the door. So let's say you're on a long trip and you're carrying luggage and you come to a doorway, and the doorway is not quite big enough to accommodate your luggage, but instead of just dropping the doorway and walking through, you're kind of like sidling through with part of the luggage. And maybe it gets torn and you're like carrying just the handle and a little bit, but you're just like so, what's the word? So stubborn and holding on to that little bit of the old baggage where it would just be so much easier to release and walk through. So the message coming from the higher guidance is to really be brave, the Ace of Air. She's so brave in stepping forward. A lot of us are quite aware of our old triggers, of our old patterns, things that tend to get us into the rough places. For me, it's getting off balance and letting masculine energy run away rather than staying in a grounded feminine spot. For others, I'm feeling like this is the pattern you have in your predominant relationships. And, are you really caring for yourself first? There's also a question of self-assertion. Are you asserting yourself? Are you really standing up for yourself, standing in your own opinions and power and truth without getting swayed by other people? It's those kind of patterns, also, any codependent patterns where, if I'm not happy unless you're happy, or if you feel sad, then I feel sad, kind of that dependent relationship. There's a big shift coming, and I'm thinking it's coming after this retrograde. And so the retrograde, especially being in Libra, and I totally forgot about all the planetary stuff before I made this video, but it's coming back into my head. Especially Mercury being in Libra, which is our relationships, our relationship to relationships, but also to balance. That we're given the chance to look inside and take out any of that old stuff and really let it go, because it feels like after the retrograde, there is going to be a big push through a door. And what's going to happen is, if we're still resisting that push, this is a funny image that I'm getting in my head. So go back to that narrow door I was talking to you about. If we just drop the baggage and walk through, there's enough room for us to go through without that old stuff. If we're still holding on to the baggage and we can't fit through with the baggage because the door isn't wide enough, it's like there's going to be a wind or a force behind us, pushing us, forcing us through. So we're going to stumble a little bit, still clinging to that baggage. And we may get a little hurt in the process. So it's going to cost more to resist without just walking cleanly through the door. That Ace of Air is just make a clean break. Okay. I'm going to go into how this is going to affect the different elements, how this is going to affect air signs, how this will affect fire signs, earth signs. We all have a little mix. Most of us have all 4 signs. Some of us only have 3, but 2. I think I've seen charts with 2. But, listen for your sun and your moon and your rising especially. You might also listen for your Venus sign. So we're going to look at how this energy is going to affect those 4 elements. And when I do the extended reading, which I forgot to mention before, but there will be an extended reading to this one, we'll go a little more in depth as to some advice for those 4 signs. Okay, we're going to do air first. Oh my goodness. Okay. Tower and the Six of Earth. So what you're being challenged with is your belief systems regarding the balance of power. Okay, making sure that power dynamics are equally yoked, that there's equal give and take. This Tower with the Six of Earth is strongly saying that your understanding of balance and of is shaky. Okay, your understanding of it's the understanding, but it's also the way that you're carrying out the partnerships. They're just not equal. You're either giving more than what you're taking, or you're taking more than what you're giving. And the Tower is coming as a warning that if this isn't sorted out, there's going to be a bigger loss. Okay, so this is all about learning about the balance of power. We'll get to some advice in the extended, as I said earlier. The link will be in the description below. I'm going to do water signs next. Okay, Hermit and the Six of Air. This is really a time where you're being asked to look within a lot more than you might have done in the past. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place, and you see these dark cards are kind of dark and shadowy. Would not expect a whole lot of forward movement, or not a lot of fire is going to happen. Not a lot of action, not a lot of it's not going to feel like those times where you're just fired up and going and going and going. But where you're being challenged is any places that you're holding on, any places that you just refuse to let go mentally. Okay, we still have the Six of Air. Mercury is still in Libra, which is an air sign. Any places that you're not willing to move on mentally. Okay, that is what is coming up for you through this reading. All right. Fire or earth? I'm going to do earth next. Okay. I wish I could show you shuffling the cards. I know that's sometimes fun to watch. It's just not possible in this current setup unless I grow another couple arms, which you never know. They could come in useful, right? Okay, we're doing earth. All right, 9 of earth and 4 of fire. So your comfort zones are being challenged. This is a new opportunity for the new birth within a community, within a group, possibly even being involved in a group, or needing the help and support of others in a different way. You're quite comfortable on your own, the 9 of earth. And so your comfort zone is being challenged, and your comfort in being alone is being challenged. There's also a second message of self-care. Really make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But I feel that this is more that you're wanting to kind of get sucked into your own space instead of focusing on this new community and new space that you're building with others, that you're being reborn into. So it's more the community idea, self versus community, that is being challenged, that you're being challenged with this time. Okay, and finally, fire. I'm going to laugh if patience is one of the things, because I saved the fire sign to last, and that's not always comfortable for fire. Okay. Temperance, the balance, and the 3 of air. Okay. This is about coming back to balance after a series of betrayals. And I do want to say series. It wasn't just one. This has been several. And it's time for you. Temperance is actually a Sagittarius card, so that's interesting. this is about you healing, coming back into yourself, coming back into that space where you actually feel comfortable, kind of taking what you need and leaving what you don't. Betrayals have happened because you've given too much. And the Temperance it's kind of like the message from the air signs, which actually doesn't surprise me because these are both masculine energies. It's about learning the balance. This is the balance within partnership or relationship to something else. This was air from before. Yours is more about the balance within yourself. And taking as much as you need, releasing what you need, keeping it flowing. And you're going to be tempted, I want to say, with more betrayals. And this is about learning to not let those betrayals get in the way of your flow, okay? So that's what you're being challenged with. You have to let other people do what they're going to do because this is part of their karma, their learning, their journey. But it can't stop your flow and your connection. Okay, thank you for joining me for this. I'm going to continue to pull cards, more advice-centered information for the extended. The link is in the description below. I believe the price for this one is $777. No, I think it's $799. Sorry, $799. If you have problems renting the video, please let me know. I'm using this platform because it's supposedly easy. If it's not, I really need to know. So let's do one more card to part, and then we will start our next journey on the extended. Okay, our parting card, the Knight of Water. Finding the harmony with your deepest emotions. Allowing yourself to go to the depth of emotions, but finding the harmony at the end of it. Anything else with that? When you're able to be in harmony with how you feel about things. And what that means is when you acknowledge it, you don't try to push it away, and you truly are compassionate and empathetic with your own emotions, you do find a harmony because you find what resonates with you and what doesn't. This is also a message to discern the company you keep. Those that where you're both kind of going to those low places, it's not the right time to be with them right now. Okay, so beware of being forced out of balance with yourself, being forced out of touch with yourself. Okay? All right, I'll see you very soon and have a good one.